And in sports, Fecafood is edging closer to a defining institutional milestone with plans on the way to inaugurate its long-awaited new headquarters in Yaoundé come May 13, 2026. Details of these stories and more on this newscast. We will be right back. Influential figures in the country's legislative history. And Honorable Mbey Mendomo Alexandra, CPDM Member of Parliament for Ja and Lobo, also passed away at the Yaoundé General Hospital. A dark day for Cameroon's political landscape. May their souls rest in perfect peace. A wind of change has blown as the Limbe Naval Base has installed its first female commander to office. Sono Seraphine was appointed recently by a presidential decree to captain the Limbe Naval Base as well as the military garrison. Natalie Njuma has the details.
The new female Navy captain, Isova Sono Seraphine, was appointed by the head of state on March 31st and has been officially installed into office as the new commander of the Limbe Naval Base and military garrison. She was handed over the command baton of this base by Cameroon's military general in charge of the 2nd Joint Military Region, Littoral and the Southwest, Brigadier General Ngolo Ngomba Toby Gabriel. During her installation, the general remarked that she was the very first woman in Cameroon to be installed as a commander of such a high-profile military position to command a naval base in the coastal city of Limbe. The Limbe Naval Base and military garrison stretches from Limbe to the West Coast subdivision Tiko and Boya. Brigadier General Ngomba equally highlighted that it was thanks to her.
Many thanks, Natalie Njuma. Following the presidential decree that recently extended the mandate of municipal councillors to February 28, 2027, some political parties have started strategizing not only for the 2027 twin elections, but also for other elections, while some are still dragging behind. Mwabo Williams makes a call of reminder to parties in the following report.
With Cameroon's 2027-2028 electoral marathon fast approaching, the political atmosphere remains a paradox of feverish movements and profound silence. While the ruling CPDM maintains a perpetual motion machine of grassroots mobilization, the majority of Cameroon's 300-plus registered political parties appear to be trapped in a deep slumber. Examining the Cameroon's electoral calendar through the lens of political seriousness or the lack thereof, is the opposition waiting for a miracle, or have they simply lost the vision to lead? We delve into the internal wranglings, the suitcase parties, and the strategic voice that defines the current landscape. In the corridors of power in Yaoundé, the clock is ticking. For the ruling Cameroon People's Democratic Movement, CPDM, the campaign never truly ends. From the hinterlands to the urban centers, their machinery is oiled, visible and constant. But across the ISIL, the silence is different. History in Cameroon repeats itself with clinical precision. Opposition parties often vanish after the polls, only to resurface with frantic energy just weeks before the next ballot. They demand change, yet they expect political magic to overcome a ruling party that has been campaigning for 7 years straight. However, the ruling party isn't taking anything for granted. The recent presidential results provided a wake-up call that few saw coming. The performance of Issa Chiroma's Bakari's FSNC proved that even smaller structured entities can disrupt the status quo. This FSNC factor has forced the CPDM to re-strategize, proving that the ruling party fears organization more than it fears noise. With over 300 political parties, Cameroon's democracy looks robust on paper. In reality, many are suitcase parties, political vehicles that exist only in the briefcase of a single chairman without offices, without staff, and without a presence beyond the capital. These entities serve more to dilute their opposition vote than to
12 years. Mwambo William summarizes the history of electricity companies in Cameroon since independence in the following report. Take a listen.
It is a historic turning point for Cameroon's energy sector. In a major move aimed at curbing decades of power instability, President Paul Biya has signed a landmark decree transforming the electricity provider Enyo Cameroun SA into a fully state-owned company named Société Camerounaise d'Électricité, known by its acronym SOCADEL. This decision marks the end of 20 years of private majority ownership, with the government now controlling 95% of the capital, bringing the sector back under state management to hopefully illuminate the path to development. The story of electricity in Cameroon has always been one of evolution. After independence, the sector was managed by private colonial entities, which merged in 1974 to form SONEL, Société Nationale d'Électricité. In 2001, to boost efficiency, the government privatized the utility, selling to the American group AES, giving birth to AES Sonel. In 2014, the British investment firm Actis took over, rebranding it as Enyo Energy of Cameroon. Yet, despite these shifts, the problems remained following the repurchase of Actis' 51% stake by the state. Finalized in February 2026 for 78 billion CFA, the new fully nationalized entity, SOCADEL, was born on May 4, 2026, marking a complete return to state control. The move to SOCADEL is a direct response to growing public frustration over rampant power shortages, erratic voltage, and prolonged unannounced outages. Infrastructural crises also meshed in. Aging transformers and overloaded distribution network have caused frequent explosions and breakdowns in major cities like Boya and Limbe. Economic and social shutdowns have also been part of the problem. The instability has crippled small and medium-sized enterprises, ruined refrigerated goods for traders, and hindered educational activities in schools. The sector was further strained by potential strikes from subcontractors over unpaid debts, threatening total blackouts. To steer this new ship, another decree on May 5, 2026 installed a new executive board with the board chair Antoine Esimi Menye, former Minister of Finance, the Director General Omaru Hamajoda, who was the former Deputy Director General of Enyo, then the Deputy Director General Jean-Basile Ekobene. The company retains its headquarters in Douala. SOCADEL takes over all assets and staff, but also all the debts and operational challenges of Enyo. The government has promised that this renationalization will lead to improved service delivery, a modernization of the network, and a faster response to transformer issues, with a focus on 20,000 new smart meters intended to rescue billing. The question remains, will a new name bring new results? While the government calls this a new energy era, consumers are watching with cautious optimism, waiting to see if SOCADEL will truly deliver a brighter future.
Mwambo William ending that report. If you're just tuning in, this is News Hour on Royal Television. Let's take you out of the country. At least 24 Chadian soldiers have been killed in a suspected attack by Boko Haram insurgents, highlighting ongoing security challenges in the Lake Chad region. Authorities say the assault targeted a military position, with reinforcements deployed as investigations continue. Details with Nanga Sonia.
Chad's armed forces say at least 24 soldiers have been killed in an overnight attack by Boko Haram militants on an army post in the Lake Chad region. The area has long been threatened by the Nigeria-based group, which is known for carrying out assaults in neighboring countries. Army sources say the raid at the Baka Tolorom base late on Monday left 46 wounded on the Chadian side. An administrative official in the region said the situation was now under control. The military side is on the shores of Lake Chad, which straddles Cameroon, Niger, Nigeria and Chad. Its islands provide a refuge for various militants, including Boko Haram and other radical Islamist groups. In a post on Facebook on Tuesday, Chadian President Mahamat Idris Deby offered his condolences to the families of the dead soldiers. The army has increasingly come under fire from Boko Haram in the Lake Chad region, with an October 2024 attack leaving some 40 dead in the Chadian army's ranks. Recent months have also seen a surge in attacks by the group's JAS faction, including kidnappings and attacks on advanced army positions. Deby say the country will continue fighting. In response to the October 2024 attack, Deby launched a counter-offensive which he vowed to personally lead on the ground for 2 weeks. After that offensive ended in February 2025, the army insisted that Boko Haram had no more sanctuary on Chadian territory. Lake Chad's islands and marshes also serve as a haven for Boko Haram's rival splinter group, the Islamic State West Africa Province.
Let's now talk sports on this newscast, where the Cameroon Football Federation, FECAFOOT, is edging closer to a defining institutional milestone, with plans on the way to inaugurate its long-awaited new headquarters in Yaoundé come May 13, 2026, an event that signals not just a change of address, but a broader ambition to reset and modernize football governance in Cameroon. Kusana Claudia Voma tells us more in the following report.
Though officials are yet to formally confirm the final program, multiple reports indicate that preparations are in advanced stages for what is expected to be a landmark ceremony in the Federation's calendar. The proposed inauguration follows earlier timelines that had projected an April unveiling, suggesting possible adjustments as the federationalized football management and reposition Cameroon as a leading football nation on the continent. However, this period has also been marked by internal tension and public controversies, underscoring the need for structural strengthening within the federation. Analysts see the new headquarters as both symbolic and functional, a physical manifestation of reform efforts and potential tool for institutional stability. In a football ecosystem often challenged by administrative disputes, financial constraints and governance questions, such infrastructure could help reinforce transparency, coordination and long-term planning. If successfully delivered, the inauguration on May 13 will not only represent the completion of a major infrastructure project, but could also serve as a turning point in FECAFOOT's ongoing quest to rebuild trust, enhance credibility, and align Cameroon's football administration within the modern global standards.
Still in sports, Cameroon under-17 Lions have intensified preparations for the upcoming African Cup of Nations in Morocco for the under-17 category. She started the international friendly with a setback. Sonita Nguyenyi reports.
After a series of friendly matches on home soil, the under-17 Lions of Cameroon have arrived in Morocco to fine-tune their squad ahead of the under-17 African Cup of Nations tournament. In their first test match abroad, Cameroon faced Tanzania's under-17 side at the Mohamed V. Annex Stadium in Casablanca. The young Lions suffered a 3-1 defeat, highlighting areas that still require improvement before the competition kicks off. Coaching staff remain focused on building a more cohesive and competitive team as they continue preparations in the new environment. The team is expected to return to action on Saturday, May 9, 2026, where they will take on Mozambique in another friendly encounter scheduled for 2 p.m. at the Zuli Annex Stadium in Casablanca. This will be their final warm-up match before the tournament begins. Cameroon would then face Ivory Coast in their opening game on the Under-17 African Cup of Nations on May 13. With one more friendly to play, the Under-17 Lions of Cameroon will be aiming to sharpen their performance and regain confidence as they set their sight on a strong start to their African Cup of Nations campaign.
Cameroon is in mourning following the loss of its two prominent political figures, Kva Yege Jibril and Be Mendomo Alexandra, passed away in the early hours of today. Out of Cameroon, at least 24 Chadian soldiers have been killed in a suspected attack by Boko Haram insurgents, highlighting ongoing security challenges in the Lake Chad basin. And in sports, Fecafoot is urging closer to a defining institutional milestone, with plans on the way to inaugurate its long-awaited new headquarters in Yaoundé come May 13, 2026. News Art Today has been a production of Sonita Nguni, technical assistance from Issa Abdullahi, and general supervision from Alaji Bubasali, and presented by me, Frida Laina Voma. Thanks so much for listening. See you tomorrow, same time, God willing, for another edition of News Hour. Until then, stay tuned to more interesting programs on Royal Television, where we beam live from Boya.